Are Mercedes brand new restoration parts any good or not? So recently I have found that some of the new production stuff, such as the chrome grille shell for the W113, is not quite up to the standard that the original part was. Now, for this video, I'm generally talking about stuff for pre-1972 cars. I'm not referring to service items if you have like a 1980 and later Mercedes or something like that. But what I am touching heavily on here are reproduction body and trim parts. So this is something that you might want to pay attention to if you're restoring a pre-72 Mercedes. The background was that we were restoring the body of a 280 SL that had a reproduction grille shell on it. No problem. I called Mercedes, and for $2,400 and change, they sent me a grille shell. However, the grille shell caused a lot of problems because it didn't fit. Now, in the meantime, Austin, my genius body guy, and I mean that sincerely, I'm not being sarcastic. I know that some of you might think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. Austin tried an original grille shell from a 1970 280 SL that was never hit before, and it fit perfectly. We built the nose cone around it. Then we tried this reproduction thing, and it just didn't fit at all. It was out at the top right corner, which seems to be a trademark of this item. There were some other items too in Mercedes past that weren't so great. Door seals that split open under installation, subframe mounts that failed within 6 to 8 months, fuel injectors from Bosch that would stick open, you know, all sorts of stuff. And that's why I say that you have to really evaluate your rubber parts carefully before saying, okay, I'm going to replace this, or your mechanical part that's saying, I'm just going to replace it for the heck of it. Sometimes that's not exactly the right thing to do. Sometimes you should pay attention to your original part. For example, my friend Keith, who loves M189 engines, had a brand new water pump coupler fail on his 67 300 SEL, which is a rubber collar that couples the generator and the water pump in their series-driven arrangement. Now, I find that with 113 parts and similar parts, sometimes it helps to reach out to an expert who might be able to sell you a good original part instead of having to rely on Mercedes. When I need quality 113 parts, I usually call Gernald Nizius at SL Tech. Gernald has had absolutely everything I've ever needed, and he's a really helpful guy, and he's really friendly to deal with. And usually his parts are assessed for fitment and quality before he sells them, making it worth whatever he asks for them, right, Gernald? The truth is, though, that when looking at new parts versus used parts, you have to ask yourself a couple questions. First of all, am I replacing this part because it's broken, because it doesn't fit properly in the first place, or because I just don't like the way the original looks? Some people look at a cracked piece of wood and go, oh my gosh, it needs to be replaced. The truth is, you're supposed to send this thing out to Restored in USA or Madeira Concepts and get the wood refinished. No new piece of wood is going to fit as well as the original. That's why you have to get the item refinished, because it was designed as part of the car. This is especially true with the pre-72 Mercedes. Now, if you're looking at something like a window gasket, for example, sure, it's better to buy a brand new fresh one rather than try to find one that's been sitting on the shelf for 60 years. But, you know, this is something that you have to replace. You can't just keep putting silicone in the cracks of your aging window gasket. You know, now we look at other items, for example, body panels. A while ago, I was restoring a 1984 300 SD, and I replaced all of the doors due to rust issues. I'm pretty sure that the new doors were not as thick and heavy as the old ones, and what I probably should have done if I had known Austin at the time was bring him all the doors and had him repair them. Anyway, these are all moral and ethical questions that you should be asking yourself to improve your working relationship with your car And if you're doing a restoration on your car or performing a thorough cosmetic restoration, there are also questions you should be asking yourself. In the meantime, please enjoy restoring and working on your classic Mercedes. And if you enjoyed the content, please let us know in the comments below, or by liking, sharing, and subscribing. In the meantime, when this channel hits 15,000 subscribers, I'm going to be very grateful to all of you for watching and bolstering its image on the internet. And in the meantime, if you have supported us on Patreon, we thank you. We're always welcoming new Patreon supporters. And we've got 2 more Mercedes in the tank for a Mercedes Classics long format video. My friend Matt's 300 SDL and a 300 SE Cabriolet that I'm really excited to share with the rest of you. In the meantime, enjoy driving and working on your classic Mercedes Benz.